Go on, light the fuses. Two more to light. Hurry. And the last. The trap is sprung. Cover your ears.
The Mount Baron estate burned, and with it my dream of a reborn 10th Legion. Or so I thought. I did not know that you and Martin Guiscard had escaped the destruction. As you fled into the night, you bore with you the future of the Legion. Pursued by enemies, fleeing toward an uncertain fate, you made your way across the empty leagues of the Rukenval. Throughout the journey, you were driven by a single hope, that others had survived the devastation, and that they reached the safety of the Rukenval chapter house. It was a slender hope, to be sure, but even a small hope can warm a man in the cold dark of night. As long as you drew breath, the 10th Legion yet lived, but your foes pressed close about, hunting you. The fate of the Legion, the fate of Ebb itself, rested with you.
I know this part of the valley. We've come a long way. I think we're close to the old Legion chapter house. If any of our friends are still alive, that's where they'll be.
Tell me about the attack. What do you remember?
Odo sent letters to all the descendants of the Legion. He wanted to gather them here, train them as Legionnaires, and take back the country. Most had already arrived when the mercenaries found us. They surrounded the estate, must have killed the men who were on watch. They smashed through the windows and the doors, slaughtered everyone they could find. Then they set fire to the house.
Those mercenary soldiers, have you fought them before?
They were Leskanzi, I think. A wandering people, from the desert in the north. I have no idea who sent them here. Leskanzi will fight for anyone who pays them. No, our real enemy hasn't shown himself. Or herself. Not yet.
Did you see what happened to Odo?
No. I lost sight of him when the fire started. But we agreed to meet at the old chapter house if anything went wrong.
How many people were in the estate when you were attacked?
Almost 40. All sons and daughters of the Legion. Some of them had fought in the wars, but the rest, they were no match for those soldiers. We can hope that a few survived, but most of them are dead. Our enemies didn't seem interested in prisoners.
That's enough about the attack for now.
Right. Maybe Odo can tell us more, if he's alive.
The Legion had a chapter house here, in this valley?
They built chapter houses in every part of Ebb, even in remote places like this. They were strongholds where Legionnaires would meet, sometimes in fellowship, sometimes for war. You should have seen the grand chapter house in Stonebridge, headquarters for the whole Legion. My father took me inside it once.
I've never been here before. Does this valley have a name?
They call it the Rukenval. It's hard country, not easy to control, even with an army. That's why Odo chose this place. He thought we'd be safe here, while we trained a new Legion.
How many people live out here?
Only a few. There's a village, Raven's Row. Most of the people are hunters and trappers from all I've heard. Pilgrims and merchants used to come here before the Legion fell. Made the town rich. But that was years ago, when the roads were still safe.
Was my father born here, in the Rukenval?
I think so. The Montbarons were granted their land by King Conread, and the family lived here ever since. Another Legion family had a manor here too. The Gunderics, an old line. Your father didn't trust them.
You said this is hard country. Are there any dangers I should know about?
Spiders. They're as large as a man, and they're smart. They'll ambush travelers on the road. And there's worse things in the forest. Have you heard of the Dakenware? The Beast Lords? In other parts of Ebb, they're only stories. Out here, believe me, they're all too real.
Thank you. That's all I need to know about the valley.
Sorry I couldn't tell you more. I've only been here for a few weeks myself.
Let's keep moving. We can talk more later.
You're right. The chapter house isn't far. Follow me. Raven's Row. The only town in the valley. Looks quiet from here. If our enemies knew we were at the estate, they may have guessed that we'd make a run for the chapter house. No help for it, though. That's where we agreed to meet. We'll have to stay sharp. They could come for us anywhere, at any time. A military camp. Less Kanzi by the look of it. Can't be a coincidence. Let's look around. We might find out what they're planning. So, there's a bounty on our heads. That means they know we're alive, and they're still hunting for us.